You know, surfing the internet without VPN is like being a Paleolithic gazelle. If you're lucky, you'll be fine just idly prancing about, but if some human hunters want to roast your rump, you're exposed. Is that a silly analogy? Not as silly as not having a VPN. Huh? The sponsor of this video, Surfshark VPN, encrypts your data, protects your logins and payment information, and makes your copious consumption of portable educational material more private. It also has a feature that can notify you in case your email address and password has been leaked. You can use it on all kinds of different platforms, and if you run into any technical issues, there's 24/7 live customer support. Give it a try through the link in the description and use the code SCAL for 85% off and 3 extra months for free. This right here is essential Stone Age tech. This is an Atlatl, or spear thrower. Australian Aborigines call it woomera. It's a different type. The principle is always the same. It basically extends your arm and gives you more leverage for a more powerful throw. And it's used with a dart, which is basically a very thin spear, or an extremely oversized arrow, if you want to look at it that way, because it does have fletching. On these here, I just went for 2 feathers, which, as far as I can tell, is enough. And one Atlatl maker mentioned that you could also just use 1 full feather without splitting it and just tie it to the dart directly. And he argues that it would make sense because it saves a lot of time and effort. That way you don't have to split the feather, you can just use it as is. And either way, so that's just to help stabilize it. You could use it without, it just wouldn't fly as well. And then you've got a point at the end. Now here, I've got 2 steel points, but I did also make an obsidian point, which I'm going to show you in close-up a bit later. One of them is a little special in that it has a detachable foreshaft. There's evidence of that, not a whole lot, because, well, this is organic material, and wood, of course, in the ground doesn't generally last. So the idea of this is the shorter piece is easier to replace. So if you lose that, then it's easier to just, make a new one and attach it to the existing longer dart with the fletchings in place. For hunting, you can make them fairly loose. This one here I made with a fairly tight fit because I don't want it to detach easily. But if this is fitted so that it can slip out and a hunter hits an animal, the longer shaft may just fall out and they may be able to retrieve them, and this one stays in the animal. In my case, I just made a foreshaft because I want to be able to test different points on it. So that works quite nicely. I wrapped the end here with cord and sealed it with wood glue just to make sure that it doesn't split. I decided to go for a larger diameter than the main shaft to bring the balance closer to the point. Might have gone a little overboard with that. Some darts were tapered to achieve the same effect, but generally the foreshaft would be thinner because then you can make a shaft out of material that is already hollow, like river cane or bamboo, and easily insert it without having to drill it. You can almost imagine a Paleolithic green arrow or a hawkeye who has a bunch of different foreshafts and just picks the right one for the purpose in that situation. And this one here is 1 piece with a crossbow bolt at the end, because that's what I had. It makes it pretty forward heavy. It doesn't have to be quite that far forward, but the thing is, as I throw it, it's actually going to flex. You take a look at how it behaves. So the dart flexes, storing some energy, which it then releases during the flight. And right now I'm about 15 meters away from the target, which isn't very far, of course. This is definitely not a how-to video in any way, shape, or form. I'm still terrible with it. It's just so you can see how it works. Oh boy. Sure is powerful, even with a light-powered swing. This embedded itself in a tree when I missed. Of course, they didn't have steel points in Paleolithic times, but you can still imagine this would be quite effective. The air is thick with these damn things. Right now the main difficulty for me is elevation, because I don't really have any point of reference for how high or low the thrower is going to be. Apologies if the focus isn't perfect, by the way. I don't have a camera operator. There we go. Another nice thing about the foreshaft, I can just pull it out the other way if need be without messing with the fletching. Okay, all right, let's try that again. Nice and relaxed. That's a ticket, apparently. Okay, let's see what the distance is like. Of course, this depends a lot on the thrower. The stronger you are, the further you can throw, obviously, with a Atlatl just as well as by hand. I'm just going to throw this by hand first, and then with the Atlatl, and I'll try to go for the same amount of power. 1, 2, 19, 20, 20 and a half. Keep in mind that's a currently very out of shape 38-year-old who hasn't practiced spear throwing. So take that for what it's worth. Yeah, a little bit further. 1, 2, 39, 40, about 40 paces. Unfortunately, one of the throws went into a tree branch and ricocheted off who knows where. I couldn't find the dart anymore. So, next day, other dart. 22 paces. "35 paces. Now with a bit of a run up. "23 and a half. "44 paces. So essentially it's doubling my range. Apparently the world record for distance with an Atlatl throw is 230 meters or 252 yards. Done by Ilkka Kontinaho, I probably butchered that, in Finland, using a lighter and slightly shorter dart. I also made this point here, which is a little more accurate, of course. It's obsidian. I'm not ready to throw it yet because I don't trust my accuracy, so chances are I might hit a rock or a tree or something and damage it or even break it. Obsidian is a great material. It's very interesting, looks nice, it's interesting to work with, but it's somewhat brittle. So this can snap in half, or the point can break off, more so than steel or iron or even bronze. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Experienced snappers, of course, can see a number of flaws with it, but for my current experience level, I'm quite happy with that. It's nice. So the other practical aspect of a foreshaft is also you could take it off and use this as a knife if you had to, or even an improvised dagger, mini spear, I guess. So it would have tool uses as well. Really neat. Well, I do like the Atlatl. I've always found it interesting, and I hope I could give you a bit of a taste of that interest as well. So I'll probably make some more videos about it. I would like to test it on a ballistic gel dummy, but I still need to get that ready and improve the setup that I have. So I don't know yet when that'll happen, but until then, I hope you found this interesting. Thanks for watching, and have a good one, folks. Oh, how am I supposed to make a video here? I'm just being fucking swarmed. Oh, this is worse than I thought. This is an Atlatl or fucking these fucking things. Ah, fuck off, all of you. If some human hunters want to rump your roast, they gon' rump your roast. That sounds kind of naughty, doesn't it?